There it is, sitting on the lot. It's the perfect make, model, and color that you always wanted. It has every upgrade you could think of. Power locks, power doors, sunroof, and a GPS. You designed the perfect car, and you don't care how much it is, because it's exactly what you wanted. Have you ever thought about doing this with a child? Designing the perfect child? To have just exactly the right hair color, eye color, height, and possible speciability that you wanted the child to have. There was a movie produced in the late 1990s named Gattaca that delves into the idea of designing a child. It shows the world as it might be if we design children. I will now show you a clip that shows what might be of designing a child.
Like most other parents of their day, they were determined that their next child would be brought into the world in what has become the natural way.
Your extracted eggs, Marie, have been fertilized with Antonio's sperm. After screening, we are left, as you see, with 2 healthy boys and 2 very healthy girls. Naturally, no critical predispositions to any of the major inheritable diseases. All that remains is to select the most compatible candidate. First, we may as well decide on gender. Have you given it any thought?
We would want Vincent to have a brother, to play with.
Of course you would. Hello, Vincent. You have specified hazel eyes, dark hair, and fair skin. I've taken the liberty of eradicating any potentially prejudicial conditions, premature baldness, myopia, alcoholism, and addictive susceptibility, propensity for violence, obesity, etc.
We didn't want, diseases, yes, but...
Right, we were just wondering if it's good to just leave a few things to chance.
You want to give your child the best possible start. Believe me, we have enough imperfection built in already. Your child doesn't need any additional burdens. And keep in mind, this child is still you. Simply the best of you. You could conceive naturally 1,000 times and never get such a result.
After watching that clip, you may be asking yourself, what is a designer baby? Well, the definition states that it refers to genetic interventions into pre-implantation embryos in the attempt to influence the traits the resulting children will have. Another quote from this movie Gattaca states, "They used to say that a child conceived in love has a greater chance of happiness. They don't say that anymore." Not only will a child conceived in love not have that chance of happiness, many other issues will arise from designing a baby. Children will tend to feel like a commodity, or that car in the lot, and not like a child. The gap between classes will grow larger as a designer human race will come about. And ultimately, in the end, we will be playing God. A quote from Khaled Hosseini, author of The Kite Runner, states, "Children aren't coloring books. You don't get to fill them in with your favorite colors. We shouldn't be filling children in with the traits and qualities that we want. We should be taking them as they are." Children may find that they have a lower self-esteem later in their life if they find out that they were made to be exactly what their parents wanted them to be, and not what they should have been. They'll feel like that car on that lot that we spoke about earlier, and not like themselves. As said by the Christian Science Monitor, They fear we might treat them more as a commodity than a child of our own. It's not like children don't have enough problems in their late teens and early 20s. But what if they found out they were created to be a savior sibling? A savior sibling is a child who is created to be an identical genetic match to their older brother or sister. Such a case happened in the United Kingdom in 2004. A boy named Joshua Fletcher had a rare blood disease named diamond black fan anemia. His parents could not find a genetic match to treat him and cure him. So what did they do? They turned to designing a child. In 2004, Joshua had a sister named Jody. She was created, born, and was a genetical, identical match to her brother. She cured her brother. Not only will children feel out of place, but we'll have a new class of humans named the designer human. Vincent, the older brother in the movie Gattaca, states, "I belonged to a new underclass, no longer determined by social status or the color of your skin. No, now we have discrimination down to a science." This new designer human class will most likely in the beginning only be performed by the wealthy due to the fact that they will have the money. But these designer humans will be superior to all other humans. The non-genetically engineered ones will lose out on job opportunities and other things such as scholarships and sports teams such as NFL and NBA. These opportunities will be taken up by the designer humans, and what is left will go to the non-genetically engineered. But what if one culture or race wants to prefer a sex over the other? Let's take China for instance. They prefer males over females. What if their entire culture, because of genetically designing a child, they only have males? The ultimate question is, should we be playing God? Ecclesiastes 7:13 states, "Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight what he hath made crooked?" It's an interference with natural selection. One day, a trait that we have today could possibly be wiped out by designing children. Let's look at Hitler. He wanted an entire race of blonde hair and blue eyes. What if our culture today wants an entire race of blonde hair and blue eyes? What could happen to brown hair, red hair, brown eyes, or green eyes? Could possibly one day we not have these traits anymore and never be able to get them back? God made us in his image, so why should we be tampering with this? We should love children and all people as they come, not as we want them to be. Children ultimately should be a gift from God, not something that we create to be perfect, because what is perfect? It's what makes us who we are. That's what makes the world interesting. Our traits, our qualities, and even our imperfections. Parents should love a child unconditionally, not pick and choose the traits that we want or that we think are perfect. Society today already has a hard enough time treating everyone equally and giving everyone the same rights and opportunities. If we make a new race deemed the designer humans, this will possibly be impossible. When you think about having a child, choose the natural, ethical way. Don't design a perfect child because that's what you want. Take the child as it is, because the way that it comes is already perfect.